So with the three, they're hardwired to pay attention to what they can do to be successful. Yeah, I'm good at soccer. Yeah, I'm going to get better at soccer. And then focus on becoming proficient and be real taskmasters. I mean, the thing about three, when you guys decide to do something, you work really hard. And I know that I'm thinking, well, I do it because I want to, but I don't work that hard. Okay, I need to kick back and have some more Gatorade and, some chips or energy bar. Okay, then I'll go and work out again. But this drive, this ambition, this part of three that recognizes the excellence. I teach a little, I think I even have it on YouTube on the Enneagram of process. And the three is the point of production. So whatever the three comes across, they figure out how to do it and how to multiply that. And that's what only threes intuitively do. It's amazing. Little threes don't need to learn how to have a goal. They see people, oh, I want to be like Janice. And then they study Janice and they made a role model themselves. And then they do everything Janice does and they take it in. And then that becomes a part of their persona. Whereas, like as an eight, I'd never think about that goal. What's a goal? For me, it's more, wait, there's an obstacle. And the eight is focused on obstacles and we want to overcome them. We want to beat that obstacle. We can be in a fight with a computer and say, what do you mean? Why are you not working? And be mad at the computer or the chair or whatever. But what we're going to do is keep going, keep going, keep going until we can make what we want happen. And that's where our good feeling comes from. It's not first place. We don't mind first place. Both three and eight want to win, but comparing and contrasting three and eight, you're going to diligently get in there. You're a perfection-oriented type, but now in the heart center rather than the gut center. And perfection comes from doing something at its very best. And it gives you the exhilarated feeling, but it doesn't last. So a lot of times threes have to have another goal and another goal and another goal, and they don't let themselves enjoy their goals. There can be a lot of sadness around that whole concept if what you set out to do and you had three things that didn't work, and then you can lose your sense of self. I've worked with a lot of threes where they were really exceptional in some area, and then the field changed or the relationship changed, and they weren't anticipating that. And threes are pretty good at having multiple roles. Would you say that's true for you? So
Oh
you're
yeah.
never without a role or a goal, right?
Yep. And failure is not an option.
No,
So
yes, exactly. So really, it doesn't help the threes to say, stop, pay attention to what they can do to be successful. You have to honor the threes' ambition. And twos are very ambitious, but it's the social two is the most ambitious combination. But with the three, all threes are ambitious. And the social three, you have to woo the world, not just a few people. Even the most introverted three is going to be focused on being seen as ideal in the eyes of others. In fact, they were the least likely to fill out my questionnaire in 94. And so I had to go after them. Hey, I need your perspective. Come on, I'll get you coffee and you can tell me. And then they would. And they go, well, no, I can't really tell you what I'm afraid of. I go, yeah, you can because everybody's telling me. And they said, yeah, but it's part of our, the enigma part of three that we've created this persona. And I said, okay, what if you don't meet that? And they said their fear was of second best. And I thought, second best? I'd be happy if I was second best or be in the top 10 would be fine with me. But second best, God, there's just too many people out there that could surpass me. That would be devastating. And then they say it is. And I had a friend in high school, she's still a friend actually, that was a three, and we'd be standing in line to get our report cards. And I'd say, you probably are very bored getting your report card. And she goes, no, 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 I'm not bored. And I go, really? But you always get straight A's. Where maybe I'll get an A, maybe it'll be a B. I don't know. I'm not sure. And she goes, how can you not be sure? Well, because I got an A on a lot of things, but maybe a C here or there, and it depends on the teacher. So I said, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what I got. And she goes, well, so am I. And I go, why? But you already know there's no mystery. She said, it gives me a good feeling to see the A, the straight A's. And I said, really? Even though you already know and you got an A on everything? And she said, yes. And then later, threes would tell me when I offered all these different classes in my consulting business for different topics, overcoming insecurity, personal empowerment, diversity, whatever I was teaching. And the threes would say, well, do you have a certificate? And what kind of certificate? Well, something that says I took this course from you. No, but I can make one. I said, but where are you going to use it? Gives me a good feeling. They would tell me they didn't know what other threes said. And so I remember one three who became a good friend when she moved to downsize, asked her, did you take all your certificates? All your degrees and certificates? She said, Katherine, I agonized about getting rid of those because it'd be like giving away my acclaim, what I'd earned, what I worked hard to achieve. So she kept the really important ones, but she just thought, God, if only my home was a little bigger. But she had cabinets of achievements, things I'd never even think to keep, or like my tennis trophies where I got first place, they were kind of broken or she goes, no, I should keep them in perfect condition. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, but those were from childhood. I wasn't that good at keeping them. But the threes do. And then they build things to show, and they do it with their children and their family members. They're great coaches, you threes.